What is good, guys? Your boy Hugo the Savage back again. I'm fresh off watching episode 2 of Marvel What Ifs. When I mean fresh off, I mean I just pressed the back button on Disney Plus, you know, like that. So I'm here, fresh in the memory. For some reason, when things are fresh in the memory, I forget more and more stuff. But this time I wrote a bit more notes than I did last time. So episode 2, damn, T'Challa. T'Challa becomes Star-Lord. That is the premise of this episode, which obviously is going to affect the universe in a certain way. So we're going to get into it. There will be spoilers in this video, but you should know that from the title already. I don't want to go into too much detail because I want to keep it short and sweet, but I probably will end up going into a lot more because this one had a lot to it. It wasn't as action-packed as the first one, but that doesn't matter. I'm not here for everything to be action-packed. I just want to see good stories being told, and this, for me, was just as good as the first episode in the story being told. Now, what's different in this one, let me check my notes. If you see me looking down to the side, go check my notes. But what's different in this one is basically it's an alternate life for T'Challa. So instead of growing up in Wakanda as a young child, he's training with his spear. He breaks through the Wakandan barricade, and Yondu and the Ravagers pick him up. And obviously we know that previously they picked up Peter Quill. Now, the reason why they picked him up is a quite funny scene when Yondu looks at him and says, "How have you picked up the wrong person?" Obviously, Wakanda has given off an energy charge. They were looking for a celestial being, Ego's kid, the spawn of Ego, and they picked up the wrong person because Wakanda was built on a vibranium meteor, right? So it's going to give off a lot of energy and such. But it's funny because he picks up the when he says to the Ravagers, "How did you get them confused?" and he presses his little beam on his watch and it brings up an image of Peter Quill. It's quite clear that one's black and one's white, so it actually made me laugh. It did. So it's an alternate life for T'Challa. He grows up with Yondu as his father figure and as a Ravager. When Peter goes to Morag to pick up the Power Stone, the Power Stone? Space Stone? Power Stone, I know. When he goes to pick up the Power Stone, obviously this time it's T'Challa picking up, who's a lot more positive, is a lot more he's a humanitarian, if anything. He's about caring for people. So the reason why he wanted to gather this stone was to power another planet, what was dying, another dying planet, to save the people on it. Korath, who's got a famous line when he says, "I'm Star-Lord," and he goes, "Who?" He's obsessed with Star-Lord, and everyone knows who this Star-Lord is. He's a legendary guy because of what he does. So instead of being a smuggler and a thief and a criminal, he's now saving planets. So moving on from there, obviously we go further into the future. Obviously, the fact that T'Challa done this managed to change a lot in the timeline. Now, one of the massive changes, which I was in stitches, and when you watch it, you will find this funny too, is Thanos. Thanos is a Ravager, is T'Challa's friend. He's friends with Yondu. It's all part of it. And he basically explains that T'Challa managed to change his mindset and let him know there's another way to get what he wanted than genocide. And they constantly made the genocide joke throughout. And you can see that it takes him out of deep thought of killing people, or getting rid of half of the universe, and puts him in a happier mindset. So now he's just happy. Thanos throughout it, you get you get Nebula, who's like a sexy blonde now, and has this flirty relationship with T'Challa. Drax's planet's been saved, so instead of the thing with the Kree invasion hasn't happened, so he's just working behind the bar. He's quite happy as well. So it has changed a few things, but I think the premise of the whole episode, the synopsis of it, is that it's to do with the Collector, and basically the Collector has this thing. I think I wrote down I can't remember what it's called now actually. I did write it down in my phone, but my phone's on the other side. But there's something that can terraform other planets, and which the Collector has. And basically, you can obviously terraform. You can grow crops and swing water and stuff on different planets. So T'Challa wants to go and retrieve that. And you get me throughout the thing is a few throwbacks to like Nebula being the old Nebula, where she's moving a bit funny and a bit sneaky, but then you find out she's working with T'Challa and it was all a plan in the end. I love it. In the Collector stash, T'Challa he finds a Wakandan ship, a Wakandan spacecraft, and then he realizes that Yondu lied to him the whole time because there's a message from his dad there. It's like a missing person message, and yeah, he finds out Yondu's lied to him, but because they have a relationship what's like a father-son, they literally just talk it out. T'Challa's fine with it, and then they do reunite with T'Chaka and the rest of the Wakandans on Wakanda, which is funny to see Thanos in Wakanda talking about genocide, and it's just like this. It's just this back and forth, which is pretty cool. But obviously, doing this means that Peter didn't get picked up, and there's a scene right at the end where Peter's working at Dairy Queen, and Ego comes in, and pretty much is about to take his son with him. Which, if they carry, I don't know how the what if's gonna work. I don't know if we just get per episode one story and that's it, or they're gonna go into a season 2 and give us something. Because I would love that. But if this did go to another season, it'd be the end of the world, because Peter now has no one to guide him on what's right and what's wrong. It's just him and his dad. They're obviously gonna, take over. But there's loads of Easter eggs in it. You've got the fight with T'Challa and the Collector, and you can see all Captain America's shield and the dagger of Malekith and Thor's hammer. You can see loads of things in the background. But it was really, really fun. Really, really fun. The basis of it is that this Star-Lord is just a good person from the start. And because he's such a good person and he becomes the leader, he changes everyone's mindset into being a bit better people. I loved it. I loved the artwork on it. It was weird because I knew T'Challa was voicing this one. I was like, it's going to be emotional watching it. And I felt fine all the way through. And then when it finished, they give the black screen with a little message and like a rest in peace to Chadwick kind of thing. And it made me feel, I don't know, it gave me a mad feeling straight away. Instantly, I was really happy. And then I saw that message and then the music changed and I was like, damn. But apparently he's voicing T'Challa in 3 other what ifs, I think, in different universes. So, yeah, man. Yeah, it's quite weird. I'm not one of them artsy people, but when you think about this episode and it's based on T'Challa's effect on the rest of the universe and the world and people being better people due to his positive way of thinking, you can't help but connect that to the real life Chadwick Boseman. And now, I'm not saying he changed the world, obviously, but he changed in certain aspects. He changed people's lives and was a positive thinker. And yeah, man, his imprint left on the world. This Black Panther character, I'll tell you that, because we haven't even got to Black Panther 2 Wakanda Forever yet. I'm sure that's going to be emotional. I don't think he's hardly had anything recorded for that movie. So yeah, man, it's going to be... We'll see what Ryan Coogler does and how he's going to remove the T'Challa character from Black Panther without... I don't know. It's a hard job, so whatever he does, you know what I mean, supporting that. But yeah, man, it was fun. Please go watch episode 2, and if you didn't watch episode 1, please go watch that. It's full of action. I probably left loads of things out, but I want to leave a little bit out just in case somebody wants to come here to find out if it's any good and then watch it. Don't want to give everything away. So, but yeah, I've been your boy. You can start with comment, like, subscribe, and share. Can't wait for episode 3. I'll be back.